Before narwhals.
Narwhals swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, cause they are so awesome.
Before salad fingers.
Hello. I like rusty spoons.
Before the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
The ultimate showdown, ultimate destiny, good guys, bad guys, and explosions, as far as the eye can see.
She was there. If there is such a thing as an internet-based culture and therefore an obligatory element of nostalgia attached to it, the Newgrounds website represents one of its undeniable pillar stones. You see, back in the primordial days of the 2000s internet landscape preceding the rise of a certain beloved video-sharing platform, Tom Phelps' Newgrounds.com was the go-to place for would-be talented independent animators and video game designers to show off their abilities and leave their mark in the then young but ever-growing online communities built around said media, only to eventually become the foundations of the indie market as a whole, and that's especially true for game developers. The site was a starting point for pretty much every big-time internet-famed animator you can think of, such as Igoraptor, Mr. Weeble, David Firth, Ross O'Donovan, Max Gilardi, and whoever made this.
You want this game?
I want it.
You want this game?
I want it.
You want this game?
I want it.
You want
It's in this kind of creative and supportive environment of tight, passion-driven groups that a little South Korean animated series found a home. And the internet would never, ever be the same again. That needed to be done. There She Is was created by a Free People team known as Sambakza Works. The original short was made over a decade ago and was originally hosted in the creator's homepage, before finding American and international notoriety with its Newgrounds debut. The entire series was comprised of 5 episodes, released in between 2003 and 2008, each structured like an animated music video about 4 minutes long, 7 minutes for the last one. The manhwa style of the animation lends itself well for both perfectly timed comedic slapstick moments and for conveying feelings and characters' reactions in an unmistakably direct way. Its simple, cute-looking aesthetics are particularly valorized in the juxtaposition of some of the series' darkest points and the portrayal of certain social issues. Because yes, this non-Japanese comical furry rom-com anime show that makes weeaboos go kawaii and everyone else go "Daww" is about diversity, interracial relationships, and the real-life civil fights attached to them. And it's also possibly the most adorable thing in the whole bloody universe, and if you don't agree with me, you're a heartless bastard that eats barf, and the world is better with no of you! The nostalgia is strong with this one. Meet Doki, an animal-loving, cute-as-buttons bunny girl that's also a stalking psychopath who doesn't take no for an answer. Meet Nabi, an everyday cat guy who lives in constant terror and fear as his life gets systematically destroyed by one crazy rabbit who went full-on yandere for him because of love. After essentially chasing him for the entire duration of the first short, the poor kitten has no other choice but to surrender to her unwanted affections, effectively dooming his existence to perpetual conjugal hell. Then they exchange fish and carrot flavored coffee together and everything is now super duper. Do people still say super duper? I don't know what I'm doing here. just don't. To be fair, the cartoon is smart enough to immediately contextualize said one-sided romance within the leitmotif of the entire diegesis, namely the fact that interspecies relationships between cat and rabbit people, while not illegal, are generally considered a taboo, hence the aforementioned social commentary that's imbued in the story. In that sense, the reason why Nabi was not at first particularly inclined in dating Doki had less to do with him not fancying her, and more to do with his personal fretting over the very idea of overstepping the boundaries imposed by the powers that be, which is as typical as a starting point for every main character of this kind of fight the establishment because of love story. It's especially satisfying to witness Nabi's growth from being an unassuming, socially conscious individual to the sort of guy that would sacrifice everything for the one he wants to be with, which still doesn't quite justify Doki's borderline restriction order worthy stalking behavior. However, even if this invasion of personal spaces could have potentially undermined the legitimacy of its themes, that's really the only issue I can find here. Sure, maybe the commentary itself can be rather bare bones and overly simplistic at times, if not downright corny when it gets inevitably superseded by the power of love, essentially saving the day. Oh, South Korea. But if I have to be honest, I'd say that's part of the everlasting and yes, even timeless charm of this series. There are many animations and cartoons we have nostalgic feelings about that, as adults, we are able to rationally recognize to be not as good as we thought they were. There She Is, in my opinion, is something that openly defies this very notion. It's a raw, emotional journey that thrives in its poetically unpolished style, in its simple, innocent, childish visuals overlapping the real-life issues allegorized throughout its 5 episodes. It is not a nostalgic show. It is a show that defines nostalgia, with its cute animation and its tonally appropriate original compositions perfectly placed over it. It's ultimately a warm, fuzzy feel-good cartoon that makes your heart smile and weep every time you watch it, whether it's 2003 or right now. Speaking of which, right now seems like a good time to catch up with the series, and here's why. That's right, There She Is coming back with a new episode. I have only one thing to say to that. Don't!
Hoje passar, a coxa passar.